Hello, my name is Ranadir Janapati. Today I'm going to video record my term project paper for my MBA course for marketing management. And title of my paper is like New Technologies and Marketing. Uh, why is a technology stack important for a domain like marketing? And at the pace of technological disruption happening around the world, how does it impact marketing? And what each small and medium business or a startup, or for that matter, even an established organization should consider as part of the technology stack in this growing competitive world where everybody would like to seek consumers' attention and consumers' uh, uh, dollar amount. It is intensely competitive space where a lot of technology is playing a role. So my project primarily focuses on how a new technology or a disruptive technology can in fact help uh, a small and medium business or startups be a sustainable business in the long term and still have consumers or customers, I would say, in my term project. And how can they acquire customers, retain customers, grow their business? Now, before I get into details, let's understand the topic. Uh, New technologies. Technology is something which already is disrupting many parts of our consumers' life, which we are part of as well, and we have seen that happening over last 4 or 5 decades. But the rapid pace of technology change happening at this point of time, uh, in this point of time in the history, is quite significant because the pace at which things are changing around the world and the things at which a startup can reach out to people is nowhere similar to what it used to be 20 years back. So the rapid pace of technology makes it much more competitive, much more intense, both for an established player as well as a new startup or a small business owner. Now, I would be focusing on a cloud-based technology. What is cloud-based technology, and how does it play a role, and how does it help marketing teams in respective organizations? Especially, I'll be more focusing on how a cloud-based technology can actually help small and medium businesses and also the startups or self-employed business people uh, and in respective genres, respective areas. Now, there was a survey done some point of time, a couple of years back by Gartner, and one of the quotes which actually impacted me a lot, and I feel it is very true, is like in next 5 years, every company is a technology company. Now that's a quite an important analysis or important statement because we don't look at each and every organization as a technological organization. Uh, the definition of technology was kind of has been overridden in the past, I would say. We now think technology as just a computer technology or a mobile technology, but the technology, by definition, is like the tools which enable people to do their job better or make their life better or bring more quality of life or bring value added features or bring more value to human life. That's at the fundamental level of what we call technology. Now, having said that, technology plays an important role in the survival of a small business or a startup. For that matter, the disruption happening at today's space, even for an established Fortune 500 client or Fortune 500 customers, Fortune 500 companies, uh, technology is the most important factor for their future business continuity and survival. Now, coming back to our marketing teams and how technology impacts marketing teams. So, and why I have chosen cloud technology as one of the primary disruptions, which actually has happened, and it's starting to disrupt quite a lot of organizations and marketing teams across the world, but it has not reached the small and medium business, which is picking up. And I'm sure, based on the metrics and the reports, based on my case studies, cloud is going to take over in next 5 to 7 years at every level of entrepreneurship and small business. Now, a cloud-based e-commerce versus traditional. So, what is cloud? Cloud is like you don't need to own an infrastructure. So, let's say our marketing teams are focused on customer acquisition. Their singular focus should be like acquiring more customers. Their singular focus should be more marketing strategies around how can we acquire more customers and what value add or what additional benefits or how we can get more customers onto the product or onto the platform. Now, traditional technology systems have a significant drawbacks in terms of infrastructure needs. Let's say 15 years back or 20 years back, a startup, if they want to reach out to a billion people, it's impossible. It's actually impossible to reach a billion people with single marketing campaign. It's next to impossible. Even for a Fortune 500 company, reaching a billion people with a single marketing campaign is extremely expensive ordeal. But with advent of social media in today's world, any individual or any startup founder has access to more than a billion people to reach out directly. I mean, without any middleman, without any additional money, without any additional cost. Now, this brings a lot more leverage for small business owners or startup founders because this level of customer availability was never available in the past. Now, the challenges which traditional system were not able to address were like how can somebody he have the infrastructure to reach out to a billion people, which is quite challenging task. Now, with the advent of cloud computing, uh, it makes things a lot easier for anybody to reach out to large number of users. So cloud computing is nothing but instead of you focusing on the infrastructure needs, you focusing on the non-relevant marketing activities, you would primarily focus on what you were supposed to do. And cloud would take care of the computation, cloud would take care of the hardware resources, and cloud would also take care of the new features available. So I would be focusing more on an e-commerce platform called Shopify. Shopify is a cloud-based e-commerce platform which was established in I think 2003, and over a period of time, Shopify has been a significant launching pad for quite a lot of small and medium businesses where they could leverage the power of cloud for their business. So there are two ways. I mean, like how they can leverage cloud. It's like they can extend their business marketing campaigns onto the cloud and have a store on Shopify cloud. I'll quote Shopify more because that's something which I'm doing which I'm doing research as part of my case study. But cloud doesn't really mean or restricted to only Shopify. There are other Shopify. There are other cloud platforms which can be leveraged. Salesforce is one of those top Salesforce cloud platforms. Oracle does have another thing, cloud platform. Microsoft and Amazon, they do have cloud platforms which are extensively leveraged across multi-giant Fortune 500 organizations. My case study primarily focuses on e-commerce platform. Hence, I've chosen Shopify as my case study tool. Now, let's discuss how a cloud-based system or cloud-based platform plays a role. Now, let's assume a new founder or a new startup has been started. One of the key or the most important steps people or this founders had to do was uh, what is the technology spend, how much is the technology spend, and what technologies they should rely more on. This decision a decade or 2 decades back was much easier uh, because there were very limited players in the marketplace, and they were quite expensive. So if you could afford those limited options, it was pretty much you were on par with other limited players who are competing with you. But however, today it's quite a challenging task, and one of the challenges is you need to be technically savvy to understand what technology stack suits your needs, and this is a one of the fundamental decisions which can make or break companies or startups or small business future. Because if your technology doesn't ramp up at the pace of the change happening at your competitors or at the marketplace, you're going to slow down. Your company is going to slow down, and once you slow down customer acquisition, customer retention, customer strategies, marketing spend, marketing campaign spend, and return on investment, it's all going to go down. And that's the reason technology is such a fundamental backbone for any organization's survival. At least until they achieve break even, because it has to be very important decision, because you can't have a recurring cost on technology year on year for a startup. At the same time, you can't have a technology which is not durable or sustainable in the long term. So this is where actually cloud comes into the picture, where it gives the economic benefit of availability of significant computation power at really affordable price. And the most important thing is it takes out the technical challenges or technical understanding out of the equation, where a founder need not be a tech savvy to know what features or what platform or what hardware he would need and what upgrade he would need, what is the infrastructure spend, what is the software license spend. So this takes a lot of things out of the equation for startup founders, and it also helps them focus primarily on their business and the most important stakeholder of their business, who is customer. Okay, so how do you identify a technology stack as part of a startup founder? So let's say you want to start a e-commerce store. Shopify is a cloud platform. So what does it mean is you would have a ready-made template to start with, and you would have a marketing templates for your store, and you would have a paid by price or paid by use or paid per use. It's called a SaaS model or product as a service model. This is all cloud terminology. I'll not get into a lot of technical details here. I'll more focus on how it helps marketing teams. So first step is identifying the technology stack. So cloud, anybody starting today, cloud is a way to go. Cloud is durable. Identifying the right partner, identifying the right cloud platform is going to ensure that they are going to have the latest technology and the latest software available for their startup or their small business. Um, I kind of did a case study where people have tried multiple technologies before trying cloud. So there was one. There are multiple things. There's an open source. There is this traditional conflict, especially for small business owners, because who doesn't have technology and marketing teams with them, whether to go an open source readily available software, or whether to go with proprietary cloud-based software. Based on our understanding, based on my research and the data points, it is proven that um, uh, open source is good as long as uh, the the founder or the part of the business owner is really tech savvy and he's getting his hands dirty doing the stuff. and he's more technically focused, and he's actually liking what he's doing with this technology. But majority of the cases, no open source software or technology has been as successful as cloud-based strategy. So it is recommended that as part of technology identification, technology stack identification, considering cloud-based platform is the way to go to ensure that your organization or your startup has visibility or durability for next 15, 20 years. That is step one. I'll be discussing about the key parameters. Technology stack identification is one of them, and second thing was like, does it matter how do you name your e-commerce store, or does it affect the marketing strategies? Does it impact the way your brand, which is the most important thing. One thing we have to understand is like the purpose of marketing, while we say is return on investment, but the underlying objective of the marketing is also to propagate the brand value into the consumer marketplace. So it should be taken care while we one of the challenges with cloud softwares is like they do give some recommendations in terms of what the store should be named, how it should be named. But based on my research and understanding, it is always important to retain the consistency of your brand and retain the naming conventions and the branding UI or the metrics in line with what you are doing on the other social media platform. For example, if you have a store called Red Flowers on Facebook and you have Red Flower Store on Twitter, I would recommend you name your store as Red Flowers with some suffix so that you have some kind of consistency. But it is always recommended to have some kind of unique name if you have not done that, but it should actually map back to your branding value. That is very important. Another parameter. Um, Third point is like competition. Yeah. So one important point is like when competitors outperform the startups or one of the organizations, it's very likely that the organization is or the startup may not survive. And one of the key parameters competitors outperform is the technology. Technology helps them launch new initiatives, new marketing campaigns, new metrics, and new features at a rapid pace. Now, this is a very key differentiator because the more features you give to customer, the more customer delight is available, and the customer experience is much more enhanced. So this is important factor. This is where cloud also plays the role. So cloud generally rolls out features as and when they keep developing. That is one good thing. Is like there is, let's say there is a Mailchimp. It's a third party free marketing service. Okay, so if, let's say Mailchimp survey or Survey Monkey questionnaire. Let's say there is a new feature where every store or every application present on cloud can leverage Survey Monkeys. So it means that your store on cloud has access to conduct surveys. Okay, so you don't need to build surveys component. You don't need to invest money in building surveys and all. This is a new feature from cloud, which means you can leverage it as is, and it actually keeps you on par with the rest of the competition. And if you invest more and you can differentiate the surveys from your competition, then you are actually ahead of the game compared to them. Uh, Third point is like distribution channels. This is the most important factor. Once a small business is established, how are you going to distribute your product, and how does technology help, and how does distribution help retain or acquire customers? So being available on different platforms is much easier, but it's much difficult to be consistent being on different platforms. So one of the challenges is like you want to have your new product. Let's say you have a presence on social media, Facebook, Twitter, uh, and Instagram, to say that, and YouTube. at the same time, but you have a cloud platform store. So there are default components which are available for marketing campaign purpose. So you can roll out a campaign which is actually available across different distribution channels. But you also have reporting metrics where you can derive the user growth, and you can identify the user traffic from which source you are getting. So that's another advantage, having cloud for your store and identifying the distribution channel. Um, yeah, so the primary objective is like customer acquisition. So customer acquisition, more the number of customers, more the revenue, and more the revenue, the more customer spend or marketing spend. So it's actually a recurring cycle. So acquiring the customer and retaining the customer is most important and most difficult thing for an e-commerce based store. Um, how do you acquire customers? So generally, in e-commerce world, we have something called um, customer retention rate. Generally, the e-commerce conversion rate and the e-commerce new visitor rate are quite low. So let's say if there are 100 people visiting a store on a site, I would say URL, the likelihood of purchase is between 1 to 3, which means like 1% to 3%. This is sale. Okay, and rest all, getting those 100 people to store is all dependent on how you market, how you propagate your brand. So that is the level of difficulty we have. But one good thing is, like, once you have an established store, there is a concept called returning customers. So a customer would return to your store because you have established a brand and you have established a connect with the customer. So it is very important that you, as a marketing team, we focus on leverage technologies which help us retain the returning customers, while we focus on the new customers. The customer retention deals or discounts or the coupon programs are very important. Another the customer demographics. This is another important metrics. We need to also leverage a lot of analytics programs which are available. We have Google Analytics, we have Trend Micro, we have App Dynamics. So these are different analytics which are available, which give a lot of insights into customer data. Even though there are, like, if you are starting up and the number of customers are way too less, the best recommendation is, like, you have the Google Analytics. Is a good software. You enable. So one good thing with cloud technology is, like, these are all inbuilt. So you don't need to know what is Google Analytics to use Google Analytics. So you will be given an option to enable Google Analytics. It's a checkbox, and you just check it, and it's readily available. The insights. So where are the users coming from? Where are they spending money on? What are the products which are being popular, and what is driving traffic to, and which age group is actually focusing on what product on your store, and what are the technical issues, like whether your site is performing well on a mobile device, whether your products are appearing right on your Facebook store. This level of insight really helps marketing teams get onto the marketing campaigns, and they can design a right marketing campaign. And the new cloud features also help define marketing campaign. Let's say there is an increased attention from a 20 to 35-year demographic using mobile devices from state of Alabama. Now, this actually gives a quite lot of insight for marketing team. Like, this is something which a small business owner couldn't have done 20 years back. Now, with the advent of social media and availability of cloud technology, a small business owner can target this group specifically in a particular region at a particular time, which actually enhances the probability of conversion rate, or I would mean sale of a product. So this is something which cloud platform leverages for marketing teams. Yeah. So the e-commerce conversion rate, as I mentioned, based on my research for one of the stores, is actually 1.7%, which is actually considered to be on par, but it's quite intense. I mean, when let's say 100 people are visiting, it means that approximately two users are buying your product. Okay, so how do you increase the revenue? Okay, so either you have more number of users visit the web store, or make more people buy your product when they are on the store. So these are the two different areas you can improve. So when you are designing a new marketing campaign, these are the things you can actually, as a marketing team, you can focus more on. Like, let's say there are 100 people visiting our store, but if there are 8 people who are reaching out to checkout page, and out of 8 only 2 are buying, the rest 6 are potential customers, if not now future customers. They have made up their mind, but they are not ready to pay at this point of time. And also you need to check what is making them not go through the payment, and why they are not selling, so not buying the product. So this all directly feeds back into marketing team, and helps them focus on campaigns which are uh, specifically targeted for this users, where they are ready to buy the product, but they're changing their minds at the last minute. Okay, so that's another insight. Finally, digital marketing strategy, which is quite, I would say, quite a trend or a buzzword these days. Digital marketing and automation and artificial intelligence, where there will be lot more robots doing a lot more than humans are planning to do. Definitely, there is an increase. One of the reasons cloud should be leveraged is like with the growing importance of machine learning and artificial intelligence. We would expect sometime soon where a robot, when a software program itself can identify a specific demographic and come up with a marketing campaign targeted for such particular demographic or such particular product. There would be definitely manual intervention required, because not all artificial intelligence systems can have that human emotional aspects, which actually make people buy or spend money. But at the same time, artificial intelligence or the robots help gather these insights and come up with some insights which are really unimaginable for human mind, which is really good. So that is another reason which cloud can leverage out of the box for even a small business owner. Uh, Finally, yeah, technology is going to disrupt, and will there be a disruption at the cloud technology in the near future? No. But in the distant future, which is 20, 30 years ahead, maybe yes. But at the same time, teams evolve, marketing strategies evolve, the way we do business evolve, the way consumers spend money, everything changes. But at the same time, if you are not, as Peter Drucker mentioned, to be to to be to be successful, we need to be in business. So that is the most important point. Like the sustainability of a small business without the right technology is near to impossible in today's world. That is common pattern across a lot of surveys, lot of case studies. You choose wrong technology, it's pretty much sure that you will be outperformed by the competitors with the right technology. And choosing the right technology is not a big corporation or a lot of dollar amount driven world anymore. It is available. It is available for each of the users. It is available for small and medium business users who can leverage the cloud technology. This is also important because cloud brings the marketing costs significantly down, which means that dollar amount spent on marketing, the return on investment is going high and up, which means that even with the continuous spending on marketing, your revenues are going to go up. Or even with the minimal spending on marketing, you are going to reach out to the large number of people to make your business and brand successful. So, cloud technologies, to conclude, uh, uh, pretty much there are some standard formulas like standard marketing strategies which will always persist in terms of like Pareto distribution, where like 20% of users would going to give us 80% of revenue. The 20% of users might be existing users or returning business consumers. They might be new consumers in the new age. So we need to ensure that we have right technology tools, we have right platforms, and giving right tools to right teams and giving right technologies to marketing team is one of the most important factor which ensures the survival of business. And with that, I would like to conclude this video. Um, yeah, thank you. I appreciate all of your time. You have a great night. Thank you.